Go back about 175 years. The now sacred grounds of the Forest Hill Cemetery in Evart was used as an earthly resting place.
Where we stand now, or Forest Hill Cemetery where it stands now, used to be basically railroad camps for the men where they would stay after they worked all day on the railroad building it.
After a hard day's work, many of the men would hit the local tavern, and moderation wasn't practiced. Many nights, the railroad workers would meander back to camp very drunk. Among the heavy drinkers was a worker named Marco. His father worried about his son night after night.
His father was the camp's cook, and what he would do every night before the men returned from work is he would go light them a trail.
He would do this so everyone got back safely. But one night,
and on their way back, two of them got in an argument or an altercation. They pulled knives. One of the young boys, or young men that were with him, tried to intervene. He ended up falling over the bridge head first.
Marco's father was lighting candles for the trail at the time.
When another member that was with the group that was getting in a fight ran up and told him, "Hey, your son just fell over the bridge," his father ran down there. And once his father got there, he dove into the river, not knowing how to swim himself or anything, and basically they both perished.
Days later, they found Marco's body, but never found his father's.
So legend has it now is that the cook, that he would light these candles, and then after he perished or died, falling, trying to save his son, the candles, someone continued to light the candles and nobody could figure out who was doing it. They thought someone lit them a pathway to get back, but in actuality, when they got up to the area where they thought was lighted, there was no light there.
Well, after that, the superstitious men abandoned the camp, and by 1861, Forest Hill became a cemetery. And ever since, something unexplained has been happening.
As where I'm standing now, we're on this hill, the headstone started glowing. And there's no rhyme to reason to it. I mean, and nobody can figure out, everybody's been here. There's been many studies, there's been books written about this cemetery, and they just can't figure out what's causing the headstones to glow.
Glowing gravestones? Gotta be a pretty good prank, right?
I'm not joking, I actually personally have seen them, and I haven't been scared of anything. I don't believe in ghosts, but they were glowing that evening. And this was in 2000, 2007, and 2008. I haven't done it since because I was satisfied and I didn't want to put myself in harm's way and thinking if I keep going back and maybe, I don't know, you never know. Supernatural stuff, who knows?
But we're not just going to take the chief's word for it. This, we had to see for ourselves. So on Halloween night, we went back to the cemetery.
You have to be like a distance from you can't be actually inside the cemetery to see them. You have to be approaching it from the west, the northwest, or the southwest, and to actually really see them glow.
And there, with our camera rolling, two spots illuminated in the distance. Wait a moment, and a third begins to glow.
Oh yeah, I'm a black and white type of person. There's no gray area, and I'm fascinated with hearing about historical and things like this, but to actually see them and really see them glowing, it makes you think. And then I try to rationalize it logically, and I said, oh, it's probably the lights, or maybe it's just, I don't know, Mother Nature making them glow. But they glow. There's no reflection. I mean, there's no possibilities.
The light intensifies, and then just goes out. What's even stranger is that it's never the same gravestones that glow. And if you enter the cemetery, the lights go out.
Trust me, everybody's tried to figure it out, and we've had scientific studies done on it, and they can't figure out why the headstones glow. It's kind of spooky, isn't it?
Spooky? Or a sign of a father's undying love for his son? Either way, the mystery persists.